Hi, welcome to the Bad Art Show with me, Jenna Sparrow, and I have some guests with me today. It's Shaena.
Hi.
Rabbani.
Yeah, you got it.
And also Kurt Metzger.
What kind of name is Rabbani?
Persian.
I thought so. It sounds very Persian.
It's very Persian.
It's very Persian. I thought you were Jewish.
I'm Persian Jew.
You didn't
Persian
know that you
Jewish.
could be that?
No, I did know that.
But I'm also
I
Mexican.
I wanted to make sure. Oh, really? So a good mix of all.
Yeah.
There we
Got them
go.
all covered.
That's good. That's why you like the Aztec episode, right?
yeah.
That makes more sense now. Yeah, so we have a new topic for today. Off the bat, I'm going to say a lot of people are scholars in this, and I'm not, so we're going to have fun with it. Today's topic is going to be Minerva and Athena.
Oh, great. Lesbian shit. Awesome. More lesbian stuff.
This is not a gay pride episode, actually. They are technically sort of the same person, but also not.
Okay. Well, I guarantee if you ever meet anybody named that, they ain't never seen no dick besides their dad's.
If they're named Athena.
Or Minerva. I can tell you, you don't gotta wonder. Hey, when's Minerva gonna be a nice fella?
Hey, it's funny that you say that because
Great softball team. I'll give them that.
Minerva's the name
Hey,
of
why
a
don't we
birth
hose
control.
Minerva down and put a dress on her? Put her in a traditional marriage how God intended. You don't gotta say that about Minerva. Athena, oh my God, just don't eat. She's gonna make your kid salute a gay flag. She's a substitute teacher with rainbow glasses that goes on TikTok. You're like, look, I'm making these little fuckers salute a gay flag. That's what Athena does.
This is so funny to me because I bet you do you not know anything about these gods, I'm assuming?
No, I know a lot about Greek gods.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Now Minerva, is that Hera?
No. Okay, so Minerva is the
You got a lot of
Roman.
Minerva saying that to me.
I do. No, Minerva is the Roman equivalent to Athena. So Athena is a Greek god. Minerva is the Etruscan god. It's her name now is pronounced Minerva, but it used to be either Menerva.
And that's how we get menses, meaning your period, and that's why she's like a bitchy god. Anyone?
Minerva's,
Am I
Is
Minerva?
someone fact check that?
Minerva's also the name of a birth control.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Minerva.
Yes, it is. I forgot
Say that
about
again?
that.
It's the name of a birth control.
Wait. What is it? What's the birth control called?
Minerva.
Minerva is the name of a birth control, like a brand of birth control. I completely forgot because I've never taken that one. That is weird.
You know what?
wild.
Usually all drugs are given black woman names for some reason. And Minerva could be that.
Well,
That's probably the Fresh Prince's
I think-
aunt's name was Minerva, I think, wasn't it? Aunt Minerva? They called her Viv for short. Yeah. It's not just lesbians. It could also be a straight black woman. A very successful black woman.
well, I think this is funny that you guys are saying all of these things
Boniva
because
is also another.
what was it?
Boniva?
What's another medicine with a black woman name?
All the medicines.
All the medicines, yeah, every single one.
Boniva.
Boniva.
Sally Field was I take Boniva. Boniva, get in here.
Creative with it.
Get in here and check this pie. I don't know what you say, Boniva.
Like this pie.
Well, I think this is funny because this god, I'm not so sure about Minerva in the original sense of it, but Athena is the virgin goddess. So it's funny that that Minerva would be associated with birth control and that you think Athena's a butch lesbian.
Yeah, no.
Minerva
She's a virgin to dick, sure. If you consider pussy eating losing your virginity, which no one does. What do you think the temple virgins and these dumb fucking lesbo goddesses did? You think they didn't eat a lot of box? They're never allowed to have sex or the nation will fail.
This is nowhere in this episode, but do you know the island of Lesbo is like, that's the mythology of where they got
that's
the
what
name
Lesbos
Lesbo?
is?
Yeah, it's a Greek island.
I'm pretending I don't know. That's what the island of Lesbos was something to do with that?
It's
I thought it was just a bizarre coincidence.
It's directly where that name lesbians come from. And that is a Greek island. So I just want to say that.
It's next to the island of Cocksucker where we get a lot of other practices.
In between that and Mykonos.
Did you know the island of Cocksucker was actually where the first blowjob was invented?
I'd be like Cocksuckopolis or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
you're
Greek.
right. Yeah.
Come on, get real.
It's Cocksukis or something. Cocksukis.
Oh my God.
Cocksuki?
No,
With
that
2 Ks
sounds
and an I?
Japanese. That's
Kaksiki?
not. Yeah. Oh, Kaksiki. Anyways, back to Minerva. So she is the Etruscan god, and they were not always together or assigned to one another. Like, they weren't always equivalents. Like, the Etruscans loved Minerva. That was their god.
Okay.
But you can see why they combined them because of the attributes that they have. So
These were 2 different entities that were combined into
yes.
like a corporate like
Yes.
Lucasfilm bought by Disney.
Yeah, what's the term for corporate takeover when
Who's the bigger corporation here?
the Greeks? You'll see why.
Oh, okay.
So Etruscans is the I guess you could say indigenous, but the pre-Roman people of like the Italian region. It's where we get the word Tuscany from, is Etruscan. So their god was associated with wisdom, commerce, talent, and later on they
Pizza.
that's Naples. And later on, they tacked on strategic warfare, which is clearly coming from Athena's side. Minerva probably didn't have that, and they added it on. But she is depicted with the little owl. So when you see her, she'll have a little owl with her. And
Oh, great.
Because
Yeah.
she's wisdom.
Yes,
Also, so
because
progressive
wisdom.
to have a woman be the goddess of wisdom.
good point.
So progressive.
Everything
Gnostic.
else about this episode is not going to be progressive.
Well,
When a woman's wise, she keeps her trap shut. That's where we're going with this.
We're going back to the
Sitting with
Greeks.
some very foolish women right now.
But she's peaceful and civilized. You know, these are all great
Yeah.
things. And wisdom, you're right. That is nice they gave that to a woman.
She doesn't have
right?
rainbow-colored hair.
No,
She has
right?
an owl. That's
An owl?
That's tasteful and yet very
Tasteful.
lesbian.
yeah.
An owl?
Yeah.
It's lesbian?
Oh my God!
Super.
If I
That
see
is
a
kind of
chick-
put a bird on it. I mean, that is a little
Why do you
bit. in
think
that
Hannah
category.
Gatsby looks like Harry Potter? Are we going to get into this?
Oh my God. My favorite thing about Minerva, pre the combination of her with Athena, is there used to be this festival, this Roman festival called Quinquatris. And not only is that a fun bippity boppity Italian name, but also it was a festival that was supposed to take place 5 days after the end of the Idols of March, which is a religious holiday in
The
Rome.
Ides of March?
What the fuck ever.
Oh, well, no, I thought maybe you knew some, like, its real name is the Idols of March.
I realized as soon as I said it, I've only ever read that sentence. I've
It's
never
like-
heard it spoken out
It's
loud.
a date. It's like what, March 24th or something?
It's
I don't know.
Their calendar's a little bit different than ours.
March.
It's before so Quinquatris starts on the 19th, so it would be 5 days before that would be the end of the Ides of March.
I'm going to have to start using the Ides for months.
Anyways,
I'm going to find out when it is.
People still.
I just
this
told you when it
festival-
is, 5 days before the 19th of March. So what's
I want to know the date because if my birthday, I'm like, my birthday is the Ides of May when I go to the airport. And then I want that. I want to use that.
Ides
like a classy
means-
person.
Ides is like, what does Ides means? I have no idea.
Oh, March 15th. No, I'm not in the Ides.
No. That's why I didn't know why it's not your birthday. Anyways, the good thing about this festival is that there was a rule that you could have. Well, the first thing is it was supposed to take place 5 days after that ends, right? But instead, the Roman people were like, what if we just did it 5 days after that, but then also did it for 5 days? And then they just partied for 5 days. It was only supposed to be 1 day.
Nice.
So that's
do like
fun.
that.
Yeah. So anyways, it's on the first day, there's no bloodletting.
What?
So
no
that-
periods. Plug it up, bitches. No diva cups.
Yeah. Yeah. But then on all the following 4 days, it was nothing but like circus and games. So if you know anything about the Romans, the idea of circus, like that name that we get that from, that's like the gladiator shit where they go in there and fucking kill each other and kill the animals and
so UFC.
race chariots and all that shit. So the first day you can't kill anything, but the next 4 days you go
Just
fucking
go
ham
crazy.
wild.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can free bleed the next 4 days.
Yeah.
Save it for free bleed Sunday.
Dude, imagine how much that would suck to be on your period during this festival and you like can't go out. Like,
But just
Wait,
one day.
Hold
home.
on.
But just one day.
Is bloodletting means murder then? It doesn't
Yes.
mean it doesn't mean your period.
I know you made it mean your
I
period.
consider it as bad as sin as murder, but it's not technically. I believe in menstrual huts.
Shut the fuck up.
You see the picture of them?
Having
It's like this African woman crouched in a doghouse. And you know what? We look down on them, but they got some good ideas. You see this woman like she would never think to bring up some bullshit about, Bud Light needs a butter dick on it. She'd be in her menstrual hut thinking of good ideas for making snacks for the men.
Wait, yeah, what happens? I mean,
Go to the
you're
men's
getting me
hall.
off topic, but I am curious
Yeah,
how
what
that
does happen
works.
in
Do
the
people
huts?
bring you food? Like, what do you do? I don't know.
You can't leave the hut?
You didn't have the Minerva festival at your house like we did? Mother would go in the doghouse
Mother.
and think of new recipes to make for us.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, if you see these old coins, they're going to have Minerva or Athena on one side and the owl on the other. And then these images are like Etruscan statues. And then the other one, you can see her with her little owl in her hand. Isn't she cute?
The owl is like recording her eating pussy for blackmail purposes.
She's not a lesbian. She's celibate.
I know, but they make you do that so they can record it with the owl.
Oh, I see
Then
what
you
you're
have
saying.
to pass legislation to support Ukraine. It's all tied in. It's all tied together.
Okay, well, Minerva is one of the 3 Capitoline Hill deities. So, along with Juno and Jupiter, they create what's called the Capitoline Triad. Capitoline Triad. Anyways, you know what I started thinking on when I was reading about that is I was like, do you think that's where they get the Jesus and the Holy Spirit and God? Like, what
Yes,
is
that is exactly what
they
they
just
get.
stole that from Roman shit because they
It's
had the
overlaid on it, and it's also Hindus have it, and the Holy Trinity is like a pagan thing. I mean, growing up in my sweet doomsday cult, we all learned about this. But it's exactly what it is. They added.
So they just took the Capitoline Triad and added on.
Because that's even a deeper thing of male, female, subconscious, and all that. These are all like patterns. They put it onto other religions, and it always infiltrates. That's why you see the same themes in every fucking religion.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
also think in the future we'll do episodes on all these different gods individually. So like Juno and Jupiter. So I'm not going to go into
Now,
them.
Jupiter's a woman, right? Because I can see a penis.
No, Juno is a woman.
No, Jupiter's. Look,
Jupiter's
that's
the man.
That's a woman. That's a full penis. That's what I call a woman. You're talking about those bleeders? No, we already saw the bonus holes. I'm talking about the
Calling women
woman.
bleeders.
The
is
woman.
insane.
A real woman.
Yeah, that's Jupiter. That's
See it?
Jupiter.
An eagle and a dick. That's a woman. You fucking bonus hole.
Anyways, you're getting me too off track with the gender
Bonus
stuff here.
hole.
You don't know about the medical term for your people?
People.
Your people.
I don't make these
Our
rules.
sex.
The women before they updated women to be better.
Okay, enough.
Praise Minerva. The women are better now. They can do Olympics for the gods.
They excelled at Olympics. I just realized what Greek god we're going to do next is Aphrodite. That's who we're doing next. So you can get all this out on that episode.
Yeah,
okay?
this is part 2.
Save it. Okay. So around the Hellenistic period in Rome, which is going to be at the death of King Alexander the Great, and right around the time, in between then and the time that Augustus takes power in Rome, it's called the Hellenistic period. So it's when they took everything Greek and brought it into Rome. So like poetry, comedy, theater, arts, all that sort of stuff. So all their art turned Greek right at that time. That is the exact time that they fused Minerva with Athena. And they were like, well, now it's just the one god that we worship. And depending on who you are, I guess you call it.
So this is just
either
classic,
or.
you conquer people and then you mingle. This is just globalism. Like Alexander the Great thought locally and acted globally.
Yeah.
Or thought globally and acted globally, I guess. Anyway, they would conquer
No,
you.
he thought globally and acted locally. Yeah. Alexander the Great, because he was constantly doing things in local
'Cause why is he
areas to win
great?
him over.
Why the fuck is
Because
he
he
even
won
great?
everyone in all the different regions over. That's why he's great.
Yeah, it's Nick neoliberal.
Except for the ones he killed.
Well, yeah, but that's why fucking neocons and neoliberals fucking love that motherfucker to this day.
Yeah.
And their pieces of shit families teach them how great they still think that he's great because he brought cocksucking to the foreign lands.
Well, I
and
think
ass
he
fucking.
unified areas that were previously warring.
Yeah, with ass fucking he did. They still fucking the ass to this day because that motherfucker.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Alexander. No, I mean it. I like
Great.
it. I hope I was not sarcastic.
All right. Well, Athena now kind of takes over as the head goddess. All of her attributes kind of get pushed onto Minerva. So even if you're Roman and you're still saying Minerva and you're calling her Minerva, she picks up all of Athena's attributes at this time as well.
Her portfolio.
Her portfolio,
They
correct?
call that in Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't want to tell you where I got it from until you agreed with it, because it is from a filthy nerd thing.
Yeah, I wish that wouldn't have
When
been
a god
said
kills another
on here.
god, they absorb their portfolio.
Wow. You play Dungeons and Dragons?
No, never. I've never, even when I wanted to as a kid, never was able to get a game going. We just would argue about it and then not.
Wouldn't
play
your
it.
mom not let you play that because it's the devil?
Oh, I got a good beating for having a monster book with because I like the pictures, you know.
Yeah.
I could have brought a demon in the house.
You brought a demon.
Your mom would get mad at you?
Like, oh yeah, I'm sure I brought a demon into the house. Trust me, Ma, the demons don't want to live here neither. They're not into this house either. They also imagine a world of wonder.
Oh my God. Okay, so Athena is associated with some of the same things as Minerva, like wisdom and courage and civilization. She is also inspiration, law and justice, mathematics, strength, arts and crafts, talent, and strategic warfare. And that's a very important one because there is a god of warfare. She is not that. She is the god of strategy in warfare.
Right. How to turn your kids trans. We start with the schools. We do it through the music. A little bit of Project Monarch, mind control. Also, of course, drugs in the atmosphere and in your water. And little by little, your kids will turn as gay as frogs. Alex Jones was right. The frogs.
Did you say gay as frogs?
As gay as frogs. They turn the frogs gay, and by gay I mean their dicks turn gay. They mutate. They have mutilated genitals and little weird bodies like Greta Thunberg. There's a lot of little Greta Thunberg frogs crying in the fucking swamp.
I am so glad this is not a science podcast.
Why? Because you don't want to you don't want to destroy the competition in science with what I just fucking laid down using the wisdom of Athena.
Athena is very much a female god, not a trans god. So she's also depicted with the owl, but sometimes she also is holding Nike. And Nike is the goddess of victory. So that can be victory in anything, like competition or war or whatever it is. So sometimes she has like it looks like a little angel, but it's actually Nike in her hand.
She holds a pair of Nikes and a dildo with a snake.
She always holds a spear and a shield because of the strategic warfare thing. So she's always ready to go because she's the warrior goddess. Anyway, she's the protector of the city Athens. And in her story, she can always be either a hero or a villain. She's not always like a good character, which is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. She is the daughter of Zeus and potentially his first wife, Midas, who was a sea nymph.
His first wife was a sea nymph?
Yes.
I thought it was Hera.
No, Hera's his second wife.
That bitch lied.
Hera's his second wife. His first wife is Midas. And Midas, I don't know.
No, that's like Midias.
That's because I spelt it wrong.
Oh, I thought
this thing does autocorrect. So I type something and then it changes it. Yeah.
So I've never heard of it.
I think she's Midas or Midas, but she was a sea nymph. They were together for like 8 years.
What's a sea nymph? It's like a water whore?
It's a water whore. Yeah, it's like a mermaid water whore.
Water whore.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really a lot of heavy like cunt imagery.
Yeah. Well,
she was born of smelly fish and okay.
They are degenerates. They're Greek.
Yeah.
Not talking about modern day Greeks. Don't come at me right now.
I mean, but they're not good. Some of them are some of them are dear friends, but we know
we know the truth
that you're a collection of ass fucking perverts.
Well, Midas,
yeah, they invented democracy. I vote we fuck somebody in the ass. You know it's true.
Midas or Midas or whatever the hell her name is, she had the gift of prophecy. So she prophesied to Zeus when she got pregnant that she was like, our child is going to be stronger and wiser than you, and he will eventually overthrow you, which is exactly what Zeus did to his own dad. So Zeus freaked out.
I bet.
And was like, we can't let this happen. So he tricks Midas into turning into a fly, and then he swallows her and eats her to kill her.
I didn't hear this first part of the story. I just thought he had a bad headache. I had a book of Greek mythology when I was a kid. I got at the library that I read all these myths.
Was your mom mad?
Yes, I did get in trouble for it. That's what I seriously did.
Well, he does end up getting a really bad headache from this.
I thought he just had a headache and this bitch came out his head.
From eating the fly.
From eating the fly. So he got a really bad headache from eating the fly. And his assistant, which this gets really confusing because his assistant.
Son is his lame, crippled son.
Yes.
He's probably his son, but we call him an assistant because we're ashamed of his crippledness.
Well,
I think that's the story, isn't it?
No, I'll get into it. There's more than that. So, anyways, his assistant, can you pronounce that name?
Hephaestus?
Hephaestus.
Yeah.
Hephaestus splits his head open with an axe.
Says he cracks it. Gives him a good knock on the noggin to get that bitch out.
Knocks it open, and Athena pops out, fully grown, fully formed, with armor.
Oh my God, that's worse than the Virgin Mary going through Jesus.
Yeah, because at least Jesus was a baby.
He didn't emerge as an adult in full armor with a shield, like a wide shield, and gape his mother.
Oh yeah, she does have a sharp shield.
So this is like a weird, gross version of the Mary and Jesus thing, but a dude.
Well,
Oh, wow.
It's like inverted, like it comes out of the head instead of the pussy.
You also made this point recently when we were talking about the Aztecs on that other episode where he comes out fully formed. I just forgot the name of the sun god off the top of my head, but the sun god.
The one Merv, the sun god Merv.
No, no, that was the water god.
Oh.
But you remember in that story, the sister goes to kill her mom, and then she ends up giving birth to the baby, and the baby's fully formed with armor. So this is like different cultures all over the world have the same thing.
You know, honestly, and I know people knock Christianity, and there is some wacky stories, but these stories are all the most retarded thing I've ever heard. I can only see it through a lens of I had Bible story, my book of Bible stories as a kid, and there were tapes I'd listen to at bedtime.
Yeah.
Not of this shit, but of Bible, Old Testament kind of shit.
You grew up really religious?
Jehovah's Witness, and so anytime I hear these myths that are religions, these people. Now, from what I understand, though, the people that ruled at the time did not take these myths as seriously as we took Bible stories. They knew they were myths, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then they kind of looked down on you. So I didn't realize that because I've especially in Egypt, you know, the stories of Egyptian gods are the most insane thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I just imagine if I was a kid having to go to church and they're like, and then Seth's semen was on the lettuce and he ate the lettuce. And Isis chopped the hands off her son because there was semen on his hands from Seth.
Yeah.
And she threw them in the Nile. I just imagine being a kid and that's your religion. Every Sunday, you just hear about, and these are the people that made pyramids.
Well, they
got jizz stories for a religion.
Another reason why they didn't take them literally is a lot of them in Greek mythology in particular do not make sense. They don't add up, and there's different versions of them. Like, for example, this story that we just told, there's another version of it where he immaculately conceives her
That's the one I've
in his
heard.
mind.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I read.
Yeah, me too.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's
So
a
where'd you get
version.
this one? Where'd this version come from?
This is just another version. It's been around for
They're all just kind of
Thousands
floating
and
around.
thousands.
I only
of
heard
years.
one version of it.
yes.
Yeah.
And 'cause the thing he had an
Midas
idea.
or Metis was his first wife. That is like a fact.
Because, you know, in Gnosticism, Sophia, which is wisdom, is from the creator God.
Yeah.
And she springs out of a thought he had, and she accidentally creates the physical universe. These things seem very connected.
Yes. And also, I was going to say, you mentioned Hera earlier, who is his second wife. Hera sees that he does this immaculate conception in his mind, tries to do the same thing. And as a result, she has Hephaestus.
Hephaestus. You ever
I'm
heard
bad
of
at names.
Hephaestus?
No. So she has him, and he's a mutant, or some stories just say he's ugly.
Yeah, he
and
was
so
u-
they
he was
throw him
ugly.
down a mountain, and it
Yeah.
fucks him up even more.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, so think of how this timeline doesn't make sense. If she saw him have Athena, and then she had Hephaestus. How do you say it?
Hephaestus?
Hephaestus.
Hey, Festus.
And then she
Oh,
had.
Hephaestus for the rest of us.
So then she had
It's like
Hephaestus.
Festivus.
Yeah, no, I like
Call him
that.
Festivus
I'll
if you-
remember how Hephaestus. So she had Hephaestus the same way because she saw him have Athena. Well, then how is Hephaestus the one who chops his head open with an axe? The timelines don't
Right, it doesn't
add up.
really
Okay,
sense.
these are gods that their timelines are not like your timelines, and I'll tell you what happens.
Yeah, but this is what I mean.
Wait. Zeus he's kind of a good-natured Bill Clinton character, and Hera was kind of the Hillary Clinton of the pair. So, you know, Bill's just like, yeah, it sounds fun. I'm making a little baby out of my head. That sounds fun. And Hillary's furious because she's like, you know, I'm the queen, so she poops out her fucking little gross thing. And Bill, you know, Bill's like a fun guy. I mean, yeah, he's a rapist, sure. Like Zeus, he's a
But fun.
rapist.
Zeus is also a rapist.
Zeus
Yeah.
is a
Okay.
rapist.
Yeah.
Boys and girls, I'm sure. Like the mighty Zeus.
Okay. Boys
Yeah.
and
Okay?
girls.
But he's still pretty cool. I bet if you hung out with him, you'd
Cool
think he
guy.
was fucking awesome.
Have
I
a fun
promise you.
time. Yeah.
Because we made fun of
Everyone
it.
likes Bill Clinton.
We had a thing on Dunnigan's thing where John, because I'm just copying John Bush's impression. I
Yeah.
think it sounds fun. He does it really funny. So we had John Bush being Clinton, and I'm confronting him about, his Epstein. He goes, well, I went, some of these girls can get confused and think that sexuality is a path to love and somebody has to protect him, and I'm glad I was there so something bad didn't happen. And I just accept his story because it was so charming. Like, I apologize. He goes, I want to say, Curb, you're really funny. And I love your comedy. Like, he compliments my stand-up. Like, oh, thank you, Mr. President. Why did he turned me around in 2 seconds?
What a nice guy. Yeah.
So that's Zeus.
Wow.
Take him off the Epstein list. What a nice guy.
So, like, first of all, so Hera, this fucking godless bitch that Zeus is with, made this cripple that got thrown in the mountain, and Zeus feels bad and gives him a job.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair.
Okay.
So later on down the road.
So that's why he was called the assistant.
I guess.
Okay.
He was too ugly to be their kid, their real kid, but
So really
He
Yeah,
was
they were
like a
ashamed.
weird, like, Hunchback of Notre Dame
Okay.
kind of thing.
yeah,
So
figure.
they're
Yeah.
Because, a woman can't do anything without a man, especially make a child.
Right.
Now, a man doesn't need you. He can just have a great idea and it'll pop right out of his head. And the gross thing that comes out of you without a man can help him split his head open and get that bitch out.
Well, to make things more
All good things!
to make things even more Greek in this story.
Yeah. The butthole's the real vagina. That's what
Hephaestus-
the ancient Greeks knew.
Hephaestus then later on tries to rape Athena, his sister, mind you.
Yeah, typical.
But remember, Athena's a
Typical.
virgin goddess,
She's
so
like,
she
you're
doesn't.
barking up the wrong tree, pal.
Yes,
And even though
exactly.
you look like a really butch lesbian, you're still not. And Hephaestus like, I'm a woman, let me in the locker room. And she's like, no, you got a dick.
What do you think this is?
I
Planet
fucking
Fitness?
hate dick. This ain't Planet Fitness.
This isn't.
If you had a
judgment-free
vagina, though, as
zone.
deformed as you are, you could be like the Duffy of the relationship.
As
I
deformed
don't know
as
what any
you
of that
are.
means.
A Duffy is the man. A mom and Duffy. Kids need to have a mom and dad. And if you're two lesbians, like one's got to be butch.
Oh.
That's my philosophy.
I've never heard that term. That's
Neither.
weird.
I got it from Annie. She knew somebody the chick was called Duffy. So the kids would go mom and Duffy. I know Annie. Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, I always say Duffy because of that, because she knew a specific person, but I'm like, that's the funniest thing. To like, if you have to just
Instead
like,
of daddy, it's Duffy.
I don't even like to say where I got it from because it sounds like it's just what's saying.
Like
is
it's
that a
just what it's
saying?
supposed to be.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, that should be the saying for when it's not a dad.
When it's
a woman.
your lesbian partner,
When it's one
it
of them
should be
kind
the
of lesbians
Duffy.
who look like Big J.
Mommy.
Big J looks like a Duffy.
Mommy and Duffy.
Like, I know, listen, let me tell you about cool roadie lesbians. I've been on a lot of shows, and there's a chick that looks like Big J that you smoke in the back with,
Yeah.
and they'll talk shit. That's a Duffy.
Yeah, they're
Okay?
fun.
And Jay dresses like the kind of cool lesbian I always got along with. Big J Okerson. They had a picture of him.
I will. I'll put one in.
Yeah.
So,
A real Duffy, that guy.
so Hephaestus
But he has a dick.
Hephaestus tries to rape his sister, but she fights him off because she's like strong and powerful, So she fights him off, but he still comes on her leg.
Hey, I got you, bitch.
So it's like that Borat thing, like, and then one day he got out, like.
Yeah.
So he comes on her leg, but she's like, ugh, disgusted, wipes it off onto the floor. But the problem is, it's Greek gods, so everything's a god. So the floor is Gaia, the
she
earth
got
god.
Gaia pregnant
Yes. So
with the lizard
Hephaestus, accidentally, inadvertently
this is
gets Gaia
wild.
pregnant, and she has, how do you pronounce it? Do you see it?
Eric-
Erectonius.
Okay, so that's the
Erectonius.
reptilians.
Yes. So he is a half serpent, half
So this
human.
is an allegory for the ancient aliens.
Yes.
So that's where we got the reptilians. They were doing crazy experiments in Atlantis, making chimeras. One of their disgusting scientists dropped their experimental. You ever see like Prometheus, the aliens movie, that black shit that makes an alien pop out of your back?
No.
You didn't? Okay. So but that guy, Ridley Scott, those movies are him.
Oh, basing it on Greek mythology?
All kinds of, because this is like really you realize these are all these story details are like Legos and everybody's using the same Legos. So
Yeah.
something unnatural happened is what they're saying, right? And then the serpent people came out. And then Athena feels bad for the boy but adopts it. Though, wow,
kind of raises him as her own son. So there's a couple of things about this. So first off, I want to talk about when you look at images of this allegory, there's different versions of it. In some of the earlier versions, he's shown kind of like a half lizard, half snake man, as you can see in that one, the print.
On the left.
So that one's in 1606. But look at by 1615, we have the Peter Paul Rubens. And that one, it's just shown as a baby. There's no scales, there's no
Yeah, he's
nothing.
normal.
Peter Paul Rubens, that's the name of Pee Wee Herman. Are
Peter
you
Paul-
saying Paul Rubens? That was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, that's his legal name?
Hold on, I'm making a connection. Was Pee Wee, is it possible? I'm going to do Ancient Aliens. Is it possible that Pee Wee Hermans is the half lizard? Pee Wee Hermans is the half lizard spawn of evil experiments from a guy with a retarded leg and his lesbian sister, where he jizzed on her leg. Is it possible? Ancient alien theorists say yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Well, you're welcome for having me on. I have
yeah,
broke
no,
down-
it's a treasure trove of interesting
No, it
facts.
really is. It sounds.
I graduated from the Art Institute at Philadelphia for Yakubian technology.
I like this version.
He did not graduate.
Do you know about Yakubian technology?
No.
You see, Jakob made the white man from the germ.
Nope, we're not doing this.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, well, people don't want to hear about the real Israelites, but
Yeah.
they don't look like you, bitch. Jakob made you. You got the germ and you're cave people. You're not the true Jew.
Okay.
The black man.
Look up Yakubian technology on your own time.
Jakob made you from leprosy. And the seed of the jackal.
Now you're just making shit up.
No, I'm not.
Athena is sometimes referred to as Palasigma or Pallas Athena.
Oh, yeah, Pallas Athena. Why
Pallas
is it
Athena.
Pallas? What does
Why?
Pallas mean?
So there's a couple of different theories. The one that I liked the best, or I thought was the most interesting, is there's a story where she's like competing, like sparring with her best friend, and she accidentally kills her best friend.
She ate her pussy too hard. They're sparring, you know. So Pallas Athena, that means she had a strap on.
So,
That's with and without a strap on.
So the story-
Now I'm Pallas Athena. Oh, I've killed my friend. I went too hard. Why did we use this? It's not pleasurable to anyone. I feel nothing through the dildo, and my friend's dead.
So, in respect and honor for her friend, she takes her friend's name Pallas and adds it onto her.
This
own
is like the story of Lady Gaga. Lady
How in
Gaga's
the
friend,
fuck
who
is
was
that
the
a
first
lady?
Lady Gaga, died.
What?
Yeah, she had a friend who came up with most of the shit Lady Gaga did, and Lady Gaga took her persona after a friend passed away. You never heard that story?
Is that true?
Yes. Guy, you never heard that guy? You never heard that? She had a friend.
Caden, is that real?
I haven't heard about it personally.
This used to be it wasn't, look, I'm not telling you a conspiracy story. It sounded like sour, like really she had some friend who was like more talented, like whatever, who did whatever. And she had
And she got her killed?
well, so now, okay, wait, now
know.
Conspiracies now.
nowadays, you probably, that would be the thing added to it. But at the time, no. It was just like she had a friend who died. You know, a lot of people have somewhat, like, I told you, I got a good friend, my best friend growing up, who was way better writer than me.
Yeah.
And he's went deeper into Jehovah's Witnesses, and I went out. And I thought at 17, that guy was like way more talented than me by a mile.
Yeah.
He came up with shit that now as an adult, I look back and I'm like, wow, that dude
That
had
was brilliant.
Yeah, and he had like 160 IQ or some crazy shit, and like, so you know that happens. It's not necessarily a.
So you're saying you absorb your friend's talent whenever they
anybody that you
pass
look up to
away
their
into
work,
Jehovah's
you
Witnesses.
try to, you know.
Yeah.
When I first got into comedy, we were like trying to me and Big J especially. We started out at the Chitlin Circuit in fucking Philly. We finally went to the cellar and we saw David Tell go on last, and he was so funny we were crying. It like blew our fucking mind how funny he was.
He's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, and so it was like, and other comics I know have talked about seeing it, you couldn't believe somebody could be that funny.
I still feel that way about David Tell.
He's unreal.
I will watch his
Yeah.
stuff and then I'll have to go write and be like, I have to fix what I'm doing.
And yeah, so,
have to be better.
Okay, so that's
I was with him.
Without any kind of conspiracy, like if you're Lady Gaga and you want to be a stupid Madonna style thing, you had a friend that was really good at it, and you also. You know, my friend John, I used to, when I would draw growing up, he was the other guy that was good at drawing. And we were like kind of like competing, but we were friends though. But it was somebody into the thing that you get better because you're trying to be.
Yeah.
So that's all that is. Maybe. I mean, really, Lady Gaga's clearly in the Illuminati, but I'm just steel manning her side of the story.
Yeah.
And so she had a friend she admired, and she does the thing. I don't think that's so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
necessarily.
why I said
I just never knew.
this is the most believable of the different reasons. So then they say that the name Pallas or the term Pallas means either protector or, sorry, I went too far. It either means protector or...
she killed her friend whose name was Pallas.
yes, and then she tacked it onto her own name. Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena.
Like J.P. Morgan Chase. So the bank J.P. Morgan Chase, Salmon P. Chase, because I was like, who's Chase? I know J.P. Morgan. Salmon P. Chase. Salmon. I think it's salmon. It's spelled salmon. He was one of the first people to serve on like the Supreme Court and be three things in government back in the day.
Yeah.
And the reason his name is on on Chase Bank, they just call it Chase. They don't call it J.P. Morgan Bank. They call it Chase Bank. Mm-hmm. He has nothing to do with that bank, but he was friends with and to honor him. Oh, he was also an abolitionist, a famous abolitionist.
Yeah.
Too.
Salmon Chase was.
Yeah, Salmon P. Chase. And so he died, and to honor him, they put his name on the end of J.P. Morgan.
It happens.
Wow.
It happens.
I've never heard of that, but it sounds to me like J.P. Morgan accidentally killed his friend Salmon.
No,
also,
I mean,
I'm going to go full crazy. Salmon P. Chase is an abolitionist. J.P. Morgan, I promise you, was into slaves, even if he said he was abolitionist, he was into slaves, because we still have it today. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank is the one that facilitated Haiti paying reparations for not being slaves to France. You know, reparations for slavery. The only time I ever heard of reparations was Haiti paying it to France for not being slaves anymore. And they paid until 1985.
No.
They paid
nuts,
until
right?
1985. And Chase
That's
Bank,
true.
who won't do business with Kanye, is the one who facilitated Haiti
that.
paying back France for
For
lost
being
revenue
free.
of
Yeah.
not being fucking slaves.
Yeah.
And so a
It's
famous
infuriating.
abolitionist's name is on the end of J.P. Morgan Chase. Isn't that a funny joke? That's what that shit is.
You know what that is?
What?
Chaos magic.
Yeah.
What's chaos magic?
Chaos magic is
When
like,
you suck your own dick.
to simplify it. But no, that is chaos
The
magic.
snake eating its own tail to achieve immortality.
It is chaos magic to change the meaning of the name Chase from someone who was a famous abolitionist to someone who facilitates the
Dude, I
reparations
said this
paid
story
to
to
slave
George.
owners.
When
Yeah.
George came over after the thing, and I go, they think they do it on purpose, that they think it's funny. He goes, well, it is kind of funny. I'm like, yeah,
They gotcha.
You got me. That is a good joke.
Well, anyways, this is a Rembrandt, so that's kind of important.
No, that theme. So you have to look at these in terms of themes. This is what I realized, because all the little details of their names and shit is like, who cares if you pronounce them right? They're all frosting. The thing is themes, and that's how you pass information down.
Yeah.
So the theme of killing your friend and taking their name because you feel bad about it, I'll bet a lot of people have been Pallas Athena in their life. That's what these are for, all these
Well,
myths.
it's also to be like, this is something you should do or you should admire, you should aspire to do, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Think how many people
Yeah.
that are rich and famous have a story where they are the Pallas Athena. So that's what these upper echelon motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's why that's why the art is based on this shit.
You just reminded me what it is that's like the upper echelon version of that. The low class version of that is getting a tattoo or one of those window things that say like RIP for your friend that died in a accident. Like like one of those what are those airbrush shirts where it's like
they all
the
wear
person
the
who
shirts.
died?
Yeah.
I have a tattoo of Jeffrey Epstein on my thigh.
My dad sincerely has a tattoo. His only tattoo is of his buddy who died. It's like that's the low class thing to do.
Did he kill him?
No.
Oh, then why do you need the
Hepatitis
mark of
killed
Cain?
him.
Oh, hepatitis. That bitch.
He died a real cool way.
Hepatitis, you bitch.
Yeah, that does sound Greek also.
Minerva, tell hepatitis to shut up.
Minerva.
So now we're on to this.
Get Bone Eva and bitch, I'm gonna Vaseline my ears. You don't know about Vaseline on
I
your
gotta
ears?
fucking cut that out now. It's getting too weird.
You don't know about putting Vaseline on your ears for a fight with another girl? You're from Jacksonville, Florida. You don't Vaseline up to fight a girl.
I mean, I don't fight women, so
Anymore?
Wow.
I don't fight men.
Never
either.
did. Oh, yeah, you don't fight.
Okay, well, let me tell you how hood people fight. They'll get Vaseline, especially girls. Have
No,
all
you take
kinds-
your hoops out, but when do you have time to go get Vaseline and put it on your fucking ear? That's what I'm saying. That's like
Jennifer Lopez did that when P. Diddy was fucking around with some girls in the studio. Jennifer Lopez Vaselined her ears to go back and fuck the chicks up.
What does the Vaseline do?
Because
you're the-
so that it.
You're the
Someone
one
can rip your fucking
premeditated.
ear off.
Okay.
Okay.
So this just Vaseline in general is a slippery.
Yeah.
It's like lube.
You don't
No,
have that.
it's smart if you have time to do it. I was just thinking, like, in what scenario do you have time to be like,
I go
"Stop,
out
let
with-
me
I gotta-
Vaseline
I
my
gotta
ears."
lube up.
I don't even
Yeah.
go out till I Vaseline my ears in case some shit happens.
Okay, so now we're
And
on.
my dick is
Or
pre-lubed.
just has like a ton of Vaseline on his
I wear a
ear.
condom all the time. I take it off to fuck. That's what we learned at P. Diddy Flavor Camp. You're welcome.
Well, now we're on to the city of Athena or Athens. Sorry.
My dick is
This has been very
pre-lubed.
educational so far.
Yeah,
People,
yeah.
I hope you have patrons for this because you guys learned a lot so far.
Thank you for reminding me to tell everyone they better subscribe to the Patreon because there's extra episodes and extra bonus features that I have to cut out for YouTube, and that can only be on
Just
Patreon.
leave this stuff
So-
in and see what you get away with first.
I do, but some things I know I'll get copyright hit on, so I have to put those in the Patreon episode. So you just have to be smart about it. So anyways, the full versions of these episodes are on Patreon. It's fucking $3. Like, come on. It's not like it's expensive. Okay. Athens. Athens is named after Athena.
Oh, wow.
Athens was named something else and then became
was it
named after
named?
Athena. I can't remember. It wasn't important. It might also be a lie. Who knows? So
No, that's probably true.
It's
A lot of
Greek
things are named something
mythology.
else.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure it was. Anyways, the story goes that the gods saw this city of Athens that already existed, right? And they were like, "This place is fucking awesome. We all want this to be our city." So now there's like a fight over who's going to be the patron god of the city because they all want it so bad. And it comes down to Poseidon and Athena. And Athena is Poseidon's niece. So Poseidon is Zeus's brother.
So of course he tries to fuck her. These are creeps, these people.
Actually, no. Surprisingly, in this one, he doesn't try to fuck her.
Really?
The city of Athens, the people, say, okay, we're going to choose in between you guys, but what do you have to like prove that you should be the god for our city? And so Poseidon goes first, and they're supposed to bring gifts to the city that prove that they should be their god. And Poseidon does something really cool. He takes his trident and he throws it into a rock. And when he throws it into the rock, it splits the rock and outbursts a spring of water.
Okay, do you read between the lines on that?
Yeah, he
fucked
made him
some guy
gush.
in the ass.
No, it's a woman. He made
Broke
her.
in a lesbian.
He made her
The
gush.
pussy was like a rock, and he goes, "Now wait to see this trident," and then it gushed.
Yeah, it gushed.
It gushed water,
And it's
he
very-
converted a lesbian.
It is very valuable to the city of Athens because they had just experienced numerous droughts and they were going through droughts.
Right.
So he gave them water and they were like, oh, no one's going to be able to top that. That's the coolest gift either.
But that sounds like Moses.
But right as Athena is about to go, they realize that the water that Poseidon had given them out of the rock was actually seawater. So technically it's useless.
Do you know what that's
They
like?
can't drink
When you
it.
told me that when a girl squirts, it's just urine.
Oh, and I broke your mind.
And you broke my mind. That sounds like exactly that.
I know. I
He
feel
was like, I made a chick squirt, and I go, it's just seawater.
I almost feel
Useless.
bad when I tell men that because they like get upset with me and I'm like, look, it's just science. You can look it up. I'm
Dude, I
not
think
trying
this
to be
bitch-
mean.
This girl used to see pissed in my face like 3, 4, 5 times. That's what happened.
You see how he said 3 and then he went 4 or 5. Shut up. You fucking liar.
Several times. She pissed all over my dick.
Well, it's like 90% pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got Athena right in
I think it's more than that. I think
Maybe like
it's
98%
all yeah,
pee.
it's,
She should have to take,
You're like 2%.
she should have
like
to take
most.
my name
No, I think it's, yeah.
to make up for that. She should be,
Yeah,
she should, her middle name should be Kurt now because she pissed all over me and let me think that it was a miracle from Poseidon.
holy shit.
Just seawater.
You got
Mark Maron told me it was just pee, but I was like, I don't think so. I think it's a. Maron goes, it's just pee. So Maron found out.
Oh, yeah, he knows.
You said it just
Maron
like him,
found
too.
out that
It's
the
just-
waters of Poseidon were
I'll be
not what
honest.
they.
I'll be honest. It's really not hard to find out. You can Google
Google it. Yeah.
It's not like if you want to debate us on this, just look it up. But so anyways, when they realize that it's seawater coming out of this rock, they're like, okay, well, what does Athena have to offer? So she takes a seed
Good, yeah.
and she puts it in the ground and out of it comes an olive tree.
What?
And that gives them food.
A seed
and
from
olive-
what?
Just a seed. She's a god. She just picks up, she makes a seed or whatever and then puts it in the ground and it's an olive tree. So she gives the people of Greece olive trees.
Only God can make a tree.
Which are wood, yeah.
Homes are
which
made by fools
wood,
like me.
olives, olive oil, which explains why they're all olive people there.
She made wood and olives.
Olive wood, yeah. Yeah, so then they obviously chose Athena because that's a way better
course.
gift, right? So
Yeah.
that's why it's called Athens.
Well, there you go. Lesbians can give us olives, but they can't give us a good Star Wars script. I'll tell you that.
Facts. So this is an image of that used to be on a fresco that's now lost to time. But yeah, and it's Zeus and Hera are up here
Fresco,
in the
the
middle.
soft drink. That was like instead of a Dylan Mulvaney on a Bud Light, you would get this on a refreshing-
Fresca?
Oh, I'm thinking Fresca.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, what are you saying? Fresco? What is a fresco?
Is that what you
That's
said?
a fresco.
You said this used to be on a fresco.
The soft drink.
What does that
Fresco.
mean?
You don't know the soft drink.
Now I'm so bad with words. Now I'm getting it confused. It's where you paint wet paint into.
It's just pee.
No, it's where you paint.
You think it's
It's where you paint onto wet plaster and you do like a mural on a wall. This is the giant statue of Athena that used to be in the Athenian Acropolis.
What is she holding?
Nike in one hand, and then she has her shield in the other hand. There's a snake with her and a spear. And they actually made it. This is now gone because the Ottoman Turks sacked the area and ruined all of the Greek Acropolis.
Wow.
Which is an important note that no matter what war you're in, you should not destroy architecture or
They
art.
fuck civilization's butthole is what they did.
I mean, it's just bullshit because it's like, so
now
what?
it ain't never going to be the same.
Yeah, you're conquering them so we don't get to enjoy art thousands of years later? Fuck
No,
you guys.
because that's,
Yeah.
don't you understand when you're conquering people, you're fighting for the right to program the subconscious of their population. So
I know, it's bullshit.
Wow.
So that's why if you're more conciliatory, you go, oh, that god fucking Athena? That sounds like this lesbian we worship.
Yeah.
Oh, she gave you olives? She gave us, I don't know, dildo, whatever the fuck. And you go, oh, I guess we all worship the same thing this whole time. That's pretty cool. We should be hang out and pay us taxes. That's what it is.
And pay us taxes.
So here, this is, well, there's a couple of really good stories about Athena. We don't have time to go through all of them, but we are going to go over the story of Arachnis. She
Of what?
Spider.
Arachnis. So Athena created spiders.
Oh,
And
typical.
this is how she did it.
By
Typical.
waxing her pussy.
Typical.
This is how she did it. So this is a famous Velasquez painting, who's one of my probably top 5. I fucking love him. He's great. But this is kind of showing a fable of what happens. So what happens is there's this young Athenian girl, and she's talking about how she's the best weaver in all of Athens, and she's so great, and she's wonderful. She's boasting,
Like
basically.
Rumpelstiltskin.
I don't know that story, but sure.
What?
I know the term, but I don't know the story.
You don't know the story of Rumpelstiltskin.
No, and we don't have time to go over it either.
Okay. It's probably okay, go ahead.
But
What?
so she's the best weaver in all of Athens. Well, this is impossible because Athena is the best weaver in all of Athens. She's a god. So you can't be better than a god. So she sees this girl boasting, and I think Zeus is the one who tells her she's boasting. Like, this girl won't shut the fuck up. And so Athena,
Zeus comes over like, yo, you
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
this?
Girls
He's starting
boasting,
some
yeah.
problems.
AKA Caitlyn Jenner. Go on.
yeah, exactly, momager. So
Zeus is a momager.
Zeus is a
Zeus is a
momager.
momager.
I guess that's technically Kris Jenner. But so Athena disguises herself as an old woman and joins a weaving competition against this girl because she's like, oh, I'm a god. I'm the best at weaving. I'm going to just humble her and
Right.
prove to her that I'm better at weaving.
It's like a rap battle.
It is like a rap battle, just like one. So they get started on the weaving, and
Get to weaving.
halfway through,
Also,
the
like,
girl's still like talking shit. What were you gonna say?
just so anticlimactic. Like, just watching two people weave
I
is
know.
just so, there's no.
Picture
like
like
the devil-
mad weaving, mad weaving.
It's like the devil went down to Georgia and was lame as shit.
So what happens is halfway through, I guess, Athena comes out and says it's Athena because the girl won't stop boasting. And so I think she's trying to be like, I'm going to beat you. I'm Athena. Like, you're not going to win this.
Sounds like Athena's very insecure.
So the girl and her both make these beautiful tapestries that they've woven, but the girl's is actually better. And Athena has to admit hers is better. But then she notices what it was she's woven.
What is it?
And the tapestry is in the background. And actually, Velasquez does a great job in this because he hints back to a painting that's a very famous Titian painting, which is a Renaissance painting.
What do you mean Titian? What does that mean?
Titian, the artist,
Oh,
like 100 years earlier, a Renaissance painting, The Rape of Europa.
What is that?
It's another Greek allegory about the rape of Europa by
Oh, mass immigration to Europe.
No.
Oh,
Europe is named after Europa, the god.
Oh,
the
but
goddess.
it does count for immigration.
So anyways, you can
That's
see
clear.
the Titian up there. So
Stop
Jupiter.
raping Europe.
Jupiter is the one who rates Europa. So when she sees that what she's actually done on these tapestries is she's making fun of all of the gods. So she has one that's the rape of Europa. She has one that's Leda and the Swan, which is Zeus. So she's making fun of the gods. And in this, Athena gets furious because she's already conceded and been like, you're a better weaver than I am.
But now you're making fun of.
But now you're making fun of the gods. And there's one version of the story where Zeus takes her ability to weave away. And there's one version where Athena now takes the girl's ability to weave away because of this.
That's how we know Beyonce and Jay-Z killed Ilea.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting about this is after the fact, this girl, I know, I just am going to pass that because you're right. After the fact,
Ilea was
this
better
girl,
and they killed her. Okay, sorry.
this girl tries to kill herself because she can no longer weave, and that's the only reason she was alive. So, but Athena feels bad for her, and so she turns her into a spider and says, all of your children will also be spiders, and you guys can weave forever. So,
That's not nice.
yeah, she wants to weave. Now she gets to weave. So the two...
Jenna, the way that you spun that as if that was like a very sweet thing that she did.
She takes pity on the girl because they took away her ability to weave. So she's taking pity on her.
Oh, so she's like,
So
if you're a
now you can
spider, at least
weave.
you can still
Yeah,
weave.
instead of killing yourself,
Wait,
I'll turn
so-
you into a
okay, wait,
spider.
I'm sorry. The others are what did this to her? And
What
not
is the
Athena?
others?
Who turned her? Wait.
Well, there's two different versions.
She tried to kill herself.
She tried to kill herself, but there's two different versions. There's one version where Zeus takes away her ability to weave. There's another where Athena does. And the reason why the Zeus version exists, I looked into this, and people tried to be like, oh, it's because Athena's actually not a bad goddess, and you know the original version Zeus did it, blah blah blah. That's not what it is. They didn't. There's a bunch of revisionist history around Greek mythology, and it has to do with feminism.
No, I know.
So they don't want Athena to be seen as a jealous, rageful woman.
Oh, wow.
And so they tried to rewrite it as if like, oh, she would never do that jealous, rageful thing. She's law and order and justice, right? So then they tried to change it to where, oh, Zeus did that, but then she took pity on her and turned her into a spider.
Think how crazy that is that you would feel the need to take, because in the Bible, they don't take that level of liberty.
I think that it's fucked up because what they're actually doing is undermining the story. The story is not that she was mad that the girl was boasting. That's part of the story is you shouldn't boast,
It's not
right?
cool.
The whole story is don't you ever fucking make fun of the gods.
No, I know.
That's the
the
underlying-
story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, Athena did take away her ability to weave, and yes, Athena turned her into a spider.
But not because she was a jealous bitch.
Because
If you read
she
the
was-
48 laws
you don't
of
make fun
power,
of-
it
Yeah,
tells you not
and
to do
also Greek back
Not to-
then wildly misogynistic.
Yeah.
So the fact that anyone tries to apply any sort of feminist
Feminism.
bullshit on it is
Yeah.
like you already know you're wrong.
Okay,
you
but
know you're wrong.
You're not thinking in terms of intersectional feminism, which says that a dude is a woman. So all this shit, all these fucking people that are up at the top, they all believe that you would never try to go back and reform Athena.
Yeah.
Why would you have to, wait. Why would you have to do that? No
Yeah.
one is going to an Athena church. So what in the fuck are you talking about?
Because she's such a powerful goddess. She's a girl
But
boss.
nobody is a goddamn.
She's a girl
So that
boss.
means, that means some whatever twat
Yep.
who's in an elite position. That's all the creepy shit
No,
they're into. They believe in this shit.
You know what it is?
Just like Christianity, how they warp the Bible, they warp this for some demented fucking. Ellen DeGeneres did this.
You know what it is? You remember me telling you that story of when I was looking at different grad schools, how the grad school instructor told me to change what my thesis was going to be
Yes.
into making it in something in either women's or gender study, like take it, but change it because I was never going to A, get accepted, or B, get funding for my research if I didn't make it one of those two things. Which is like, I'm glad she said that because that was very candid of her to tell the truth about what's going on in higher education institutions. But that is the truth of it. So now a bunch of scholars are coming out and they're rewriting history because they've been trained in gender studies. So that's what that really is. That's why they're going back and trying to rewrite this. And by doing so, they're overriding what the actual story was about, which is about the Greek gods, and don't ever fuck with the gods, is what the story's about. So,
Well, guess what? All those people doing that, they are going to find out don't fuck with the gods. Because what always happens is all these
They're gonna find out.
you just went fire and brimstone, go.
all these dipshit wokies, they all believe in this nonsense. And then when they find out it was like a corporate sponsored thing,
Yeah.
and you can't go against the corporation, So that's why, for example, at Columbia University, all the people protest in Gaza
Yeah.
and I'll watch people, oh, these woke students, whatever. But Hamas killed wokeness, and that's why all these people who were doing that fucking like identity fucking bullshit, and they thought it really meant something. Like if you believed in BLM or whatever the fuck, which never meant anything. It was nonsense the whole time, okay? It came down from the top, it wasn't from the bottom. There would be no movement that black lesbians lead for black people. That's ridiculous. They fucking upbred that we support Palestine. Back in the day, they said that.
Yeah.
And now everybody's mad. So all these assholes that were funding them, that's the gods. Whoever's giving you funding, that is the gods.
That's your god, yeah.
Yeah.
So that there ain't a single
Just
thing
like
on
Athena gave the Athens trees.
And why do you think rich fucks love these statues so much and would take the time to alter this shit like it's the Bible?
Yeah.
Because they believe in this. They are a special fucking
And the
people.
other thing is
Yeah.
when I say that they're revisionist history writing this, they're publishing this shit in like scholarly so this is going to go down in history as like this is the actual truth.
So
that's what's interesting
So here's
about
the
it.
reason why. If you go to really high level Ivy League universities or whatever you were in academically, that's where you're being indoctrinated to be part of the power elite. So that's how you get to be in the managerial class.
Yeah.
And the real elites filter down to the fucking midwits that go to higher education, and they indoctrinate them with bullshit. And so, like, because there's no reason why you'd have to alter a Greek myth. It's about like God turning into goats and fucking people. It's nonsense.
It already is nonsense. Right,
Yeah.
right.
So that tells you right there.
And they're
what
mad.
They believe.
They're mad about this woman making a
Right.
tapestry of a bunch of rapes that they've done. Don't ever forget
Yes,
that.
well, I was just about to say it was about a
No,
rape.
it's like being Julian Assange, really.
Yeah, so she was
it's a
pointing
Julian
out.
Assange story.
Yeah, she was pointing out the flaws is that they're always raping humans and animals. So that is a good point.
Listen, here's my prediction for Julian Assange based on this. Is they're going to let him out of prison and he's going to be fucked in some other way. And it's going to be like, we're going to turn you into a spider.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
Yeah,
He's in prison now.
yeah, that's
for no
actually a good
reason.
point. Yeah,
And it's because he dared mock the gods by showing their emails to people.
I was going to cut you off, but I'm glad I let you make that point because you're right. You're right. They're going to turn him into
Well,
a
I
spider.
control the
I love that
psychic
you know
space
when
of
to-
the room I'm in.
Yeah, but we're almost out of
It's
time.
called chaos
so.
magic.
Okay, so another story and another reason why I say Athena is both good and bad is this story paints her in very bad light. So this is probably the most famous story that everyone knows.
This is where she's really being Ellen.
The story of Medusa, which Medusa might have to get her own episode because she's very interesting. So I'm going to gloss over some of this just because we're kind of short on time. But the story of Medusa is her and her sisters are born. And two of them, there's two different versions of this, but two of them are what's called a gorgon. And gorgons are like, they're like, I guess evil, I don't want to say tricksters, but they're like monsters is basically what they are.
Gross is what they are.
Yeah, so they're always shown with like the tongue and the monstrous face, and they've been around for a really long time, like way before the story of Medusa. But the three of them are I guess it just means monster, basically, is what it is. But for some reason, Medusa isn't. She's born beautiful and normal, but her sisters.
Is that true?
There's different versions, but the version that I'm going to tell right now, her sisters are gorgons. She's beautiful. So what happens is she becomes Athena's main chick, like her secondhand chick. It's her assistant. It's her everything. So they're working together. They're like best friends, right? And Medusa, in one version of this story, she lures Poseidon into Athena's temple. In another version of this story, she is running away from Poseidon and takes shelter in Athena's temple. Either way, Poseidon, who is Athena's uncle, gets in there and rapes her. Okay? So as a result of this...
Wait, if she lured him in, how is it a rape? So one story is rape,
one
and one's
story is
not.
rape. One story is she used her beauty to lure him in and have sex with him. Either way, that happens. Athena is mad that they disgraced her temple. And so she turns her into a gorgon like her sisters. So people don't like this story because it makes Athena seem like a fucking cunt.
Well, it's the opposite of Cinderella.
It's also real virgin.
Now you're an ugly stepsister, not a princess.
It's also real virgin energy. Like she doesn't like
funny.
that her friend got fucked.
funny.
Like
She's mad.
it's like that's big virgin energy. I'm just gonna say.
Well, she obviously had a lesbo crush on her. And
Yes, thank you. Okay.
then this girl was hetero and ambitious.
Yes.
And
So these are all just metaphors for power plays that you see in real life.
Another part of this story is the Gorgons are immortal. But because Medusa wasn't born a Gorgon, she became a Gorgon. She's not immortal. But the other ones are. The other two are. So if you ever see the Gorgon, like the one on the left there is shown with the wings, that's more representative of her sisters, because her sisters are also said they're monsters.
This is Marge Simpson's sisters, Patty and Selma. They're the Gorgons.
Oh.
And Marge is the hot one.
Well, yeah, Marge was the hot one. Her sisters, Patty and Selma, are like,
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, these are two of my favorite Medusas. The Bernini one, obviously amazing, the one on the left. And then the Caravaggio one, probably the most famous one. That one's at the Uffizi in Florence, and I've seen it in person. It's fucking awesome. It's so cool. But I also think there's people get mad at this story because they think that it makes Athena sound not like a feminist, right? But you have to consider that this is all to teach people. They're all allegorical to teach people lessons. And the lesson of either one of these, of the one where she lures Poseidon in, the lesson is to women to not use their beauty and their looks to lure men, because you could get raped or someone could punish you for it.
another woman, most likely.
Or your parents. If you're unmarried, you're now unable to be married.
So they're trying to change the lesson.
So she ruined herself, and I mean this, and people are going to get mad at me for saying this. Medusa ruined herself because now she can no longer serve the virgin goddess Athena, who she worked with, and she's also not legitimately able to marry in Greece. Greece was very strict about, like, you had to be a virgin to get married if you were a woman.
Okay, but Perseus...
Very misogynistic.
Listen, Perseus fixed it. Perseus chopped her head off. Now, he chopped it off with a sword. Perseus fixed her with his dick is the story. Do you understand? So now this chick is not Medusa no more. Whatever.
Yes.
Like the story is he chopped her head off, but everything, a sword's a dick. So...
A sword.
So she was a fucking bitter bitch, and his dick was so good, it killed this snakehead bitch, and then she's something else.
Yeah, and Perseus uses a shield given to him by Athena. So
look what you look like.
Athena's still so mad about this that she gives Perseus a mirrored shield so he doesn't have to look at Medusa because she turns you to stone if you look at her. So Athena,
well, that's to help him like fix her.
It's to help him kill her. She gives him a mirrored shield so that he can go kill her without looking at her. So Athena's still mad about it.
That's how you take that? I thought it was like to... You know, a mirrored shield that turns you to stone. It's like
it doesn't turn you to stone. If she looks at you, you turn to stone. So Athena gave.
She looked at herself in the mirror, in the shield.
No, he cut her head off.
Okay.
Oh, so why did he have?
It was to be able to see her around a corner to know how to attack her.
Yeah. Without looking directly at her.
Yeah, without her looking at him.
Got it.
If she looks at him, he turns to stone.
Got it.
So, and then Athena takes her head and puts it on her own shield as like a memory of like, don't fucking cross me. So snakes are also always seen with Athena, and it's because of this, because it's actually a warning. So in one of the earlier images, it showed her with a staff, and there's a snake wrapping around it, and it's a warning to like, do not fuck with me. I'll kill you.
Here's a weird
Athena's
thing.
a bad bitch.
A staff with a snake around it.
There's three different versions of and they're three different gods. So this is Athena's version.
I know. So when I was a kid in my book of Bible stories, and the Israelites... Moses had led them out of Egypt, and he went on the mountain to have God give him the Ten Commandments, you know? And he was going a long time, and all Israel's like, where the fuck is Moses? And his brother Aaron's the high priest, and like, is Moses even coming?
He's coming back.
What is this? What are we sitting here waiting for this fucking Jew to come down a fucking mountain? And then this is the thing I always thought was weird as a kid. Like, the way I took it as a little kid was people are just dying to worship something. So if they don't have a thing, they're going to... So they tell Aaron, like, listen, Moses isn't coming back with 10 commandments. Just make us a calf to worship. Like, I don't know where this would come in your head. They took all their jewelry and melted... Aaron, the high priest of God, took it and melted it down into a golden calf.
And they
because they threatened... Like, it just made me laugh thinking of them. So you're like a Catholic priest who's whatever.
But didn't they get in trouble for worshiping that?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
You get in trouble.
I mean, I don't know where this
worst thing you can do.
This one I know. This one.
Because back then, the worst thing you could do was worship a bad
something.
God. It was like heroin to them for some reason.
Any kind of idol, anything that wasn't.
Yeah,
well,
but
your God
the
is
way it's
power,
written, it seems like it's like cocaine or something. Like, oh, you try worshiping a calf. So Aaron didn't want to make this calf. Aaron's like, just wait for Moses. Like, no, we got to worship something right now, man. I'm jonesing. So he's like the cook, right? So he makes their jewelry into a calf, and they all worship it.
Yeah.
And then God sends snakes to kill them for doing this.
The laugh.
Because Moses gets back just as they're all
As
having
they're all
this
worshiping.
calf worshiping orgy.
Yeah.
And he's got the he's like, "You asshole!" And he smashes him because he's so mad. I think he remembered him. I don't know, but basically, they melted the calf down, made everybody drink it, so they had diarrhea, shitting gold. They invented Goldschlager that way. I don't know. But then
I missed that part of the
everyone's
story.
getting bitten by snakes because they worshipped a fucking calf, right?
Okay.
So God's not going to kill them all. He just wanted them to get a little poisoning and learn their lesson from being snake bitten. So Aaron, the high priest, takes a bronze staff with a snake wrapped around it, and they have to look at the staff to heal their... And I thought nothing of this as a child, by the way. I mean, I'm sure the story sounds fucking batshit to you.
Well, that part of it is...
Look at a snake staff.
That part is
I
stolen
don't
from
remember
a
that
different
part.
Greek god.
Because when it's written
Yeah.
down, I learned later, those are Hellenized Jews. So
Yeah.
the stuff you read in the Hebrew scriptures of the Old Testament, that wasn't written down whenever
Yeah.
Moses, whoever that is, was alive.
It was
Yeah.
written down way
They told
later.
me Moses wrote that. When I was a kid, they're like, who wrote Genesis and Exodus?
But-
Moses.
Yeah.
So Moses actually wrote in the book, and then Moses died. God, he wrote that part.
Yeah, himself.
And there's fucking Christians that think Moses wrote it to this day.
Yeah, so that, what you're talking about healing with the snake around the staff, that's a different story. We'll go over it at a
But
different
medical doctor's office has the...
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to do a whole episode
But I feel like
on
it's
that.
really
But-
just a lesson in patience, though, right? It's a lesson in like having faith
In one
and just
way.
waiting. But same thing here.
Yeah.
It's like not
Yeah.
having sex. It's like, why'd you have to? You could have just waited. You should have just not.
Yeah. And
right?
even if she, yeah, and
Wait,
even,
wait, say that. Wait, you're saying it's a set don't fuck yet story.
it is.
I thought it's a like don't fuck to get power. It's like a warning to not be Monica Lewinsky.
It's to not have sex with if you're not married.
like to
because
have
she's-
self control. Like
Yeah.
Well, don't be a powerful man's concubine to get ahead.
Well, yeah.
Well, but then the
Yeah.
other
Don't
version.
fuck your way to the top.
No, the
Yeah.
other version, she gets raped, but the story is the same. She put herself
thing.
in a situation where she is now no longer legitimate to be married because she got raped, and that's her fault.
Boy, but I wonder.
I mean, that's why I'm saying it's a
Okay.
misogynistic
Do you
culture,
wait,
because that is.
Do you understand if you're unmarried and you have sex? So statutory rape is that you're a minor, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the old world, women and children are minors. You're never a
Yes.
fucking adult.
Even
You don't-
women. All
course.
women are
in
minors.
Greek, they were considered property.
So do you understand? So maybe
yeah.
she wanted it. Maybe she wanted it, but it's legally, it's rape because you're not
Yeah.
an adult, bitch. Do you
so
understand?
you belong
regardless.
to your
So
parents
people don't
until you
get
belong
that.
to a man.
That's how they
yeah.
thought. But you, like, even if you're a 30-year-old fucking woman, if you're not married, you're a child.
You're a child.
Yeah.
A man's a child until he's in battle or whatever. That
Yeah.
like the things that
Okay.
make you an adult are having kids.
Yeah, there's no,
being
like,
owned,
age.
or
Yeah.
killing
Not
someone.
turning 18 is
Yeah.
not.
The,
Not
the
a thing,
methods of
yeah.
control are laid out for each gender. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like. You know, a lot of Bible stories are like he forced her to lie down with him, and it's like, is that a rape or did they just hold hands and she didn't have a burqa on? You never know with these
You
cultures.
never know because rape is just.
So that chick probably, now if I mingle the stories together, I mean, there's no way of knowing what really happened because these are made up characters.
Well, also,
But
you can't apply the Bible stuff because that's so much later on. This is so much, like, all the Bible
the
shit's
Bible
brought
stuff
from
had this
Comes from
applied
them.
to it
Yeah.
because
Yes.
when they wrote down
Yes.
those scriptures, this is after they're Hellenized, which means they're conquered by Greece. And the thing
Yeah.
about Greece is everybody got a little piece of Greece in their culture.
Also, this predates the Bible by like a lot.
So the old stories in the Bible were being told, they weren't written down.
Yeah.
By the time they're written down, this is at the Library of Alexandria.
yeah.
And so it might have been Alexander the Great who was like, write down all your shit. So the Jews at the time were writing
Started
these
writing.
ancient Bible stories that were told.
Yeah.
And you have to put in perspective of they're in this culture that believes in this shit. And really this shit is not a belief system. It's a series of lessons for powerful people to act right.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're a peasant,
fear, out of fear.
if you're a peasant, you think it. Well, no, just like the 48 Laws of Power. You ever read the 48 Laws of Power?
Sure, I've heard a lot about it.
I never read it either. I'm not powerful. I've heard of it.
I've heard a lot about it.
He like attacked you. Have you ever read it?
No, a bunch of people have it. These fucking myths are basically an encoded version of that book. So it's
wow.
like you want to get ahead in life. This is
Yeah.
how you act.
Wow.
And so they're made, everything in the world is made this way. So if you're a fucking peasant, you take it seriously. The way you would take football teams here. I'm a Yankees or Eagles
That's a great comparison, because I was also going to say it's also fun to take it seriously in the sense of like they have festivals, they have things celebrating them.
If you're rich and powerful, you look at it for laws of power to make you more rich and powerful. You don't give a shit. So that's why now there would be a feminist thing to change that history for no fucking reason, because someone very powerful wants it that way.
Yeah.
And so everything that you ever heard is propaganda, and they make it on purpose. That's why we have secret societies, so that if you have the eyes to see, you see, and if you don't have the eyes, you could be a dumb shit. Apple pie, baseball matters. You know, we fought Iraq for freedom. You can be that retard if you want. It's something for everybody.
Yeah.
But this is how you encode, and it's just being encoded in your subconscious.
Well, also the images.
That's so that's.
The images of Athena are everywhere. I was going to say she's also arts and crafts, as we talked about earlier. So like there were thousands of images I could have chosen for this. So these are just some of the great ones, like Artemisia Gentileschi. This is her version of Athena. This is Rembrandt's version of Athena.
Wait, who's the guy with the up there in the corner?
So this is Rembrandt's version of Athena, which I thought was great because this is an early version compared to his other version, the Pallas Athena. And it kind of seems like he almost put his self-portrait mixed with like made it a woman.
Oh, because that's him? That's what Rembrandt looked like? Yeah. And I was going to say, is that some lesbian, that woman up there in the corner?
That's Rembrandt. And Rembrandt had a really good sense of humor. So his early Athena kind of looks like a mix of like a woman and him, which I thought was real funny.
He's a trans Rembrandt.
Yeah, Rembrandt's great. So
well, you know what she looks like? She looks like an average gender studies major who's like, you know, if she did something with herself, maybe she'd be fuckable, but she's not going to on purpose. And
this girl's rewriting Athena's history right now in grad
Athena,
school.
Look at that picture. That Athena, her house smells like cat piss. I promise you that. I promise her house smells like a litter box that ain't been changed. She probably has some very sturdy rimmed glasses.
Yeah.
And she's got all this fucking,
That's fair.
We need to make Batman a lesbian so young men aren't toxic. That kind of bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck Athena. Let me say that. Hey, Athena, fuck you.
Well, original Athena is pretty cool. And then I put this last one in here for you, Kurt.
Whoa.
Oh, Klimt? Why?
Yeah, because he's always bringing up Gustav Klimt.
Because I liked Egon Schiele, and he was like a contemporary of Klimt.
What's on her chest?
I was going to say that's one of the Gorgons as well. Yeah.
Now, why is she putting that up? So that's like in a video game when they bring in an actress, and she's hot, and then they ugly her up for the game because they want to dyke up the world. That is what that signifies. See the
Gorgon?
Yeah, they want to make her.
I could be a Gorgon. Maybe you need to look at Gorgons until you know how to act right. See? Maybe you need to look at a snake hair bitch until you know how to...
She's pretty manly, too. Klimt's version of Athena is pretty manly,
She has nice eyes.
Yeah, she's got like crazy alien eyes.
But like super jaw.
Yeah.
Like.
No, but the lantern jaw is where it really... And
is that what that means?
Well...
What's a lantern jaw?
Superman had a square jawed
is that what that means? Lantern jaw? Okay.
And I remember in 2012 when the big feminist kind of... I can't remember the one name of this one, but she had a fucking square jaw. And it's like a man, it's a masculine property. I have a big fucking square jaw.
So anyways, I just wanted to end on that Klimt because I wanted to put that in for you. So every time you reference him going forward, we'll have that image of Pallas Athena.
That's not the Klimt that I didn't know anybody who had a Pallas Athena. Girls usually have the one with the gold robe and the
kiss. Yeah, that's the one. I'll show you that one. That
one's college girl.
Yeah.
Klimt.
Who is that in the bottom left?
It's just a figure that he puts in most of his images as a redhead.
I got a piece
The pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood does that as well. But anyways, so that has been the story of Athena. Minerva, Athena?
Minerva. Yeah, Athena.
So thank you guys.
Thank
you, Shaena.
Athena.
Yeah, what a great teacher. You did a great job teaching us.
Make sure to take your Minerva.
Minerva.
Every day, make sure to take your Minerva.
Minerva, bone loss can occur after age 40. Minerva prevents it. With Minerva, I'm walking down the street, buying a cupcake, playing tennis.
What is it they usually do really fast at the end where they're like, other
side effects may include headache. Yeah.
So that's when you see the fun act. That's like in the dick pills. The guy's painting a boat. Yeah. And then they say like blindness. I'm sorry, I'm trying to paint a boat. Did you say something?
Sudden rectal bleeding.
Rectal bleeding.
Suicidal thoughts.
It's a great boat. It's like every single thing. You're like, I'm thinking about a boat.
At least you can get hard.
Right.
I mean, you don't even have to say side effects.
Yeah, really. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us for
Look
Athena.
at her necklace of boner killing. She's a
Memento
hunter
Mori,
of boners.
Memento Mori, we're out.
Oh my God.
She has a necklace to ward off boners. Like a werewolf. Oh, I gotta pee. Holy shit.
Memento Mori, thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.